Uh-oh, who bought that Ram 3500 with the cracked frame? Welcome back to JB Reviews. I was talking to one of my friends a couple weeks ago. He's in the market for a dually, and he was telling me that he wanted to get a used truck. So he wanted to get my thoughts on buying a used diesel pickup. And so I told him nothing wrong with that. I think that used trucks is, they're still kind of high. The only thing I told him was just check the price against a new truck to make sure you're not paying about the same price, because some dealers are starting to discount in some cases. Now, as far as dualies go, you're not going to get really a deal on that truck, but again, there are still really expensive used trucks out there. Nevertheless, I ended the conversation with a text and said, hey, by the way, just don't buy this truck. So I was just showing him the color of the gray dually in the thumbnail that you saw. If you don't remember, I did a video on that exact truck at the beginning of this year. And it got me thinking after I sent that text. I says, someone's gonna buy that truck. And I hope it's none of my viewers, because I want you to know that that would be a big mistake, especially if you plan on using that truck for its intended purpose. So the issue with that Ram having a frame issue is not because Ram makes crappy frames. I know that I've said in the past that Ford frames are stronger, and that's only because, like I said in that video I did earlier this year, my friend likes to get tow trucks with crew cabs, but he needs that 120-inch cab to axle for his wrecker, basically. And so for him, the guy that does it out in New York says don't do it with the Ram, because for some reason Ram frames are just not strong enough once you cut them. But with Ford, he says he has no problem doing that outfit. So in this scenario here, that camper was probably about 6,000 to 7,000 pounds, if not heavier. And that Ram was only rated to maybe carry something like, I'm gonna go off and say about 4,000 pounds. That type of sliding camper is really for a cab and chassis pickup. And I strongly recommend, if you are looking at towing a trailer, I have this thing on my channel called Weight Watchers Truck Editions. You should go back and watch some of my videos so you have an idea of the numbers, because there's a lot of things that people do not take into account. The biggest thing is this: online, everything is always about advertisement. Think about advertisement when you see payload. Max payload is not every truck. Max towing capacity is not every truck. Max payload trucks are gas trucks. Max towing capacity trucks are, you got it. Now, most of you guys don't know this, but I did work in the car business for about 10 years. I was a salesperson, then I became a finance manager, and then I did sales management for like the last stint of my career there. And I did appraise cars sometimes. I was a new car manager, but sometimes used car guys, they're busy, they don't have time to do it, so I had to. I never remember climbing under a car or truck to check for frame damage. Quite honestly, the only way you would ever be able to know or tell is if you took the truck or car, put it on a lift, and had a trained technician to look for it. Because even for some people, you would not be able to tell, especially if someone repaired it. And the truck that you guys saw, I believe that guy did get that frame welded back so he could at least drive it without that camper. So what would you do if you bought a truck that way? Well, I can tell you what you should do. And this is kind of the reason why I don't buy used trucks, because I know what people do with their trucks sometimes. I know what I've done with trucks sometimes. So for me, what you saw there is one guy being honest about what happened. He showed you what happened to him. But if you ever have a chance, go by dealerships, drive through the back lot. If they have a body shop there, you'll see stuff. I actually did show you guys where one of the Rams got recalled, and it was because it literally had a fire damage because of the recall that they announced not long after that. So with that being said, let's hop online. I'm gonna show you guys some used trucks really quickly, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what to do if you are looking to buy a used truck and you wanna make sure that it did not have any catastrophic issues while the person owned it. I'm on Auto Trader right now, and I have 2020 model year, because that's the model year of the truck, and of course Ram 3500. Now I did click Laramie and Laramie Longhorn because the thumbnail doesn't really show you which truck it is, because you have to see the grill, and in this case we can't see that. And because it's a dually, the Laramie all the way up to Limited have the same exact wheel design. So I don't really know which trim level this is. So what I did was I just clicked on Laramie and Laramie Longhorn. In 2020 it was still Laramie Longhorn, but in 2022 they changed it to Limited Longhorn. So with that being said, here's some of the trucks here. So that truck was two-tone, as you saw too. Now the good news is I did not find the truck. This is the closest match to what it would have been, because it had 26,000 miles on it at the time when that accident happened. But of course the bumper's different and it's not two-tone. And the only one else I saw that had that different bumper on it was this one right here. This one is the other one. So just to kind of give you a price point, so 77 grand for a 2020 dually. This is a Laramie, not a Laramie Longhorn, but 29,000 miles on it. So let's click on this truck really quickly. If you're looking at used cars, especially a used truck like this, I would 100% figure out where this truck was being serviced. Now your question might be, how would I know that? I'm gonna tell you, this is easy. One thing about Auto Trader is they do provide Carfax for most of the cars if the seller chooses to show one. If you don't see a Carfax on Auto Trader, I don't even look at the car. It has to have a Carfax. I don't care if it's been in an accident or not. I always want to see this, because this lets me know that, hey, the seller is being transparent about the vehicle that they're offering for sale. So with that being said, on Carfax, it shows you if the car's been in any accidents, service history, shows you how many people owned it, if the car was owned personally or commercially. So one thing you have to note about this is different in a lot of cases, because even if a car doesn't show that it's been in an accident, if there was no police report done, then you're not going to see an accident on here. They also have warranty checks too, so you can pretty much see this one had the 3-year, 36,000 miles. So here's what you have left. So there's a lot of cool things on this. Now this is wrong actually. This has a 100,000 mile powertrain, obviously because of it being a diesel. Now, how do you know where the truck was serviced? So when this truck was purchased, it looks like it got delivered to the dealership from the factory on 10/23. And then from here, somewhere between there and here, the truck was purchased. But at this point, the truck was titled on January 28th. Now, obviously it could take 30 days to even 60 days to get titling work done, especially back in the times that we lived in 2021. But it shows here in 9/23 that the truck got its first service at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Me personally, I don't buy new trucks like this when they haven't been serviced at a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram place. And here's why. Whenever you have a new car like this, especially under factory warranty, I always like to see the oil changes done at the dealership. Now, I know some people in the comment section are going to say, well, dealerships do a horrible job, whatever. I agree with you to an extent. But a heavy-duty truck does not or should not go through quick lube. Whenever I got any of my trucks serviced, I always request a diesel technician. I even tell them I'll pay more because I prefer someone in the diesel side of things to do my oil changes, even if it's a small thing, to do those types of services for me. Because in my opinion, when I look at Carfax, when I see a Plaza place there, I look at it as that person didn't care about that truck. And again, that Plaza repair shop could have been the best one in California. But we all know that nothing good comes out of California. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. California's politics are just jacked up, but we won't go there. But Plaza Tire looks like it only serviced the car twice, and I don't even see an oil change at neither one of these. And then the car got sold at auction. And then AutoNation picked it up. And it looks like this truck must have had an alignment issue, because it looks like they torqued the nuts here. And then they balanced the tires, and then tire condition and pressure check. And then again, they just torqued the lug nuts. I almost wonder if there was some type of shimmy because they replaced the tires here. So this person might have had some type of issue with this truck, and that's why he got rid of it. So it was offered for sale at SAC Truck Depot, which is where it's at right now. And it looks like they had some type of service done. They probably, well, no, it doesn't show that it had the CP4 replaced. But like I said, it's possible that this got done at some point on this pickup truck. So that truck was a great example of one that I wouldn't buy. And not because of anything other than there's just no history for it. And also, it looks like there's some issues with maybe the wheel and tire and the lug nuts, things like that, because they took it in twice within a short time frame. And then when the truck got traded in, they replaced the tire. So there must be some type of abnormal wear with the alignment or something. So with that being said, that's just one truck I probably would skip. Now, I'll buy anything for a good deal. But as you guys saw, did I show you guys the window sticker of that truck? Let me show you the window sticker really quickly. Hold on. This is the other reason why I love Carfax. Because if you are looking at a Ram, they typically put the window sticker on there. So that truck was $77,777. Love that number, by the way. So high output Cummins, 410. So this was max tow, dually. And this one had Laramie level 2 for $4,200. But this truck was $76,470 back in 2020. And now it's pretty much the same price as it was new. Now, how do you avoid buying this truck? Well, obviously, again, you know to do your research, right? So one thing you have to take note of is this. Every customer who buys a new car, if there's any repairs needed within that first 3 or 36 or 5 year 100, they're taking it back to a dealership. I can't remember off the top of my head if Carfax shows under the service tab warranty work or something like that. I can't remember. But that's a good sign for you. If you do find a truck that's being sold at another dealership, but it was serviced at a neighboring Chrysler store in another city, then what you can do is you can call that store. You can, I don't tell anyone to lie, but you can say, hey, I have this truck. You have this truck you're looking at to potentially buy, right? But you have this truck, and I noticed it was serviced here, and I want to see what was done on these dates. And then they should be able to give you a rundown of what was done. And so if anyone that's looking to buy the truck with the cracked frame, I'm sure the dealer will probably know pretty quickly that that was a truck that was in for that. So hopefully, if you have the dates already in front of you, the dealership should be able to tell you what was done or why it was in for service. But I hope this was helpful. In the comment section, I want to know, who has bought a bad used car? I have bought a bad used car before. I have bought a Subaru way back when. It was actually the first car that I personally bought by myself. And let's just say I made a lot of mistakes when I purchased. Like, it needed so much work, and I probably paid $2,000 too much for it because of that. But that was the first and the last time I ever overpaid for a car that was not worth what I paid for it. So in the comment section, let me know you guys' thoughts. See you guys next video.